This is going to be from Dubai. It's going to be Punjab taking on Hyderabad. And this one also has mouth-watering proportions to it, simply because Hyderabad, we saw what they did in their last game against Rajasthan, and Punjab are on an upward spiral, 3 in a row. So, I mean, you've got 2 winning teams coming, taking on each other, knowing that they have to now sneak into that top 4.
Yeah, and it's 5 versus 6. 5 versus 6. They don't have lofty goals. They currently have middle class goals. They're not thinking of buying a Ferrari or whatever. They're saying, let me just get my first car and let me qualify. But that's not a bad goal. Out in this tournament, you make the playoffs, it's a decent result. So this is a fight for the playoffs, because the team that loses, like we saw today with Chennai, who can go out of the 14 race, the team that loses can only get to 14. And then they'll have to wait and see if 14 is good enough. I think one team might still go through on 14, but you never know. But then they're dependent on other people. So this is a race to sort of sneak in.
It certainly is. Let's have a look at the lineups.
Yeah.
Punjab first. We'll see what they have. They've waited an eternity to get the universe boss into their team. But now that he's come in there, doesn't look like he wants to be going anywhere. Nicholas Puran's finding form at the right time. The big question mark was Maxwell. Obviously, as far as the last game is concerned, do you now see him staying on there, or are you looking to have someone like a Mujibur Rahman sneaking in?
Well, Mujib's probably going to give you more with the ball. Maxwell, although the reason that he's been kept in the side is because of his bowling. That's the main reason. He's opening the bowling, bowls to the lefties. That's the main reason he's been there. Yes, he got runs in the last game, but he wasn't convincing. Again, I said this on commentary the other night. I've tended over the years, Kings 11, to pick their most expensive 11, not their best 11.
Oh, good point.
And that's something that they have tended to do poorly, I think, over time. So I don't see them dropping him. Not now, not after the other night. So I don't really think that they will make any changes. They're on a roll, and they're a side that now looks like they have the ability that's backing up what they've got at the top with the 2 best batsmen in the tournament.
I think they've got one of the scariest top 7 going, because both Agarwal and Rahul are in form. Gayle is looking dangerous again. And after that, you got Puran. Puran is going to be a special player if he keeps his head around him. So Puran, Maxwell, Hooda, and Neesham. Neesham's batting way too low at number 7. I mean, Neesham's wasted at number 7. At number 7, that means you want him to bowl more than you want him to bat, whereas Neesham is the other way around. He bats more than he bowls. So my only thing is, would they want to have a Jordan for a Neesham if they don't need him at 7? Or if they need his batting, then he has to bat up 6, because he's a game changer with the bat more than with the ball. They're getting by at the moment because young Arshdeep is bowling well and Shami is bowling out of his skin. But they could still have slight issues with the death bowling, given that they don't have a Jordan, or they don't have a Cottrell or whatever. Yeah.
But what if they replaced Maxwell with Jordan and just batted Neesham and Hooda at 5 and 6? Because that's the other option that I could look at. Or bring in Hardisfield Ewan, who is more than accomplished as a death bowler and can bat as well. He could bat 7, and you could have Neesham 5, Hooda 6, and Hardisfield Ewan at 7. That's the other option. But I just think that this is a side that is too scared to drop Maxwell. They're too scared to do the right thing for their team because they paid him so much money.
Interesting observation. I hadn't heard that one before, but now every time they come out to play, I'm going to be thinking of Dooley's comment, most expensive 11, not the best 11, but it does make sense. That's pretty much what they do have out of the park at the moment. What about the opposition? What about Hyderabad? Remember, they had to make a change in the previous game, and what an inspired change it turned out to be with the captain of the West Indies, Jason Holder, coming in, picking up those 3 wickets. Didn't really need to bat, but I think they'd be more than Jason Holder. They'd be delighted with the form of Manish Pandey in that top of the middle order.
And Vijay Shankar, because he's giving them overs too. But if you're an India player, you've got to bat 4. I tried saying that in a tweet, and everyone thought that I'm saying Vijay Shankar should bat number 4 for India. And I've got about 250 people piling on. And then I realized maybe I should have worded it a little differently. But if you're an India player, then you're going to pull your way to the top of the order. So Vijay Shankar has to bat at number 4. Come what may, he has to bat at number 4. And I think that was a big plus for them, that they won without Warner and Bairstow. So if they can keep that going, then Vijay Shankar has a sixth bowler. That balance is starting to look a little better.
Tuli, when we previewed the game, the previous game,
totally agree.
we quoted you. I remember early in the tournament, we were having this long discussion. How does Jason Holder or Billy Stanlake make this side, particularly in Sharjah? And you said, well, Kane Williamson might just have a niggle. Well, in this case, he had an actual niggle. What happens now if KW is fit?
I think they've probably found the combination. And look, it's tough. It's just a tough ask, but I think it suits their combination. And I say this for a couple of reasons, and the big one being that no Bhuvaneshwar Kumar. So they've lost the leader of their pack, as far as I'm concerned. So the experience of Jason Holder is quite vital when he's replacing a Kane Williamson, but he's experienced at the bowling department, which is what Bhuvi was sort of, Bhuvi was the leader. And they lost him. So now bringing in Jason Holder. Don't forget, Jason Holder can find the boundary at the back end of the innings as well, if he has to. The biggest plus, and Harsha mentioned it, for Hyderabad last night was Vijay Shankar and Manish Pandey. They realised they could win a game without a contribution of any sort from Warner and Bairstow.